Hi, welcome back to the channel. In this video I'll be covering clinical psychologist Dr. Jorden Peterson's 12 Rules of Life. Over 1 million copies sold in a matter of months. This book was groundbreaking to say the least. A list of cardinal rules to live a happy, successful and meaningful life. In this video we'll keep things simple, direct and to the point. I'll explain each one of Dr. Jorden Peterson's rules clearly and with examples where relevant. We'll also summarize everything at the end in a way that you can remember. For meeting for the first time, my name is Dr. Aziz. I'm a psychology graduate of Cambridge University and also a medical doctor based in the UK. Now let's get going. Rule number 1, stand up straight with your shoulders back. This does two powerful things. It exerts dominance and confidence. It also shows that you accept responsibility. Research has shown that how you hold yourself can affect your mental state. Making a sad face will make you feel sad, and likewise a stooped posture with your head hanging leaves you looking as though you have a low status. So stand upright, feet shoulder width apart, and be confident. Rule number 2, treat yourself like you are someone you are responsible for helping. What this basically means is that many of us treat others well but neglect our own selves. In our field, it is often said that doctors are the worst patients, and we are. We often neglect our own signs and symptoms that we know could be worrying, and in general, people will often not take their medications or vitamins or exercise regularly, but when it comes to other people, their children or even their pets, they'll take impeccable care of others. So take better care of yourself, your physical and mental health. If not for yourself, then at least so you can take better care of those you love. Rule number 3, make friends with people who want the best for you. This rule is very simple. Your company defines you. Who you keep as friends can go both ways. They can inspire you and influence you towards good or potentially have a toxic effect on you. So choose your friends carefully. Just because someone has been your friend since school days doesn't necessarily mean they are good for you today. Rule number 4, compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to someone else today. This is pretty self-explanatory but worth emphasizing nonetheless. By comparing yourself to others, he has more money, she drives a nicer car, they have a bigger house, this is inevitably self-destructive and increases self-loathing and anger. The best person to compete against is yourself. As long as you are improving or better than yesterday, then you are heading in the right direction. Even if you improve by 1% each week and you are consistent with this, then in 71 weeks you'll be twice the person you are now. This is covered in more detail in the book Atomic Habits, which we've covered on this channel and which I will link at the end. Rule number 5, do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. What does this mean exactly? Dr. Peterson outlines two different parenting styles. Permissive, whereby parents allow their children to do whatever they want, and authoritarian, where they are extremely strict and rule their children with an iron fist. In both of these cases, the children will end up socially stunted and have difficulty fitting into society. If a child is allowed to do whatever he or she wants, if the parents cannot tolerate it, then neither will society, leaving the child feeling isolated and struggling mentally. So if you don't like something that your child does, nip it in the bud and put a stop to it now. Rule number 6, set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. Now this rule does not mean you literally have to be perfect. We know that is impossible. But what it is advocating is that you must be willing to deeply introspect and examine your own life and choices. In short, stop doing things that you know are bad for you. This may be giving up smoking or letting go of a toxic relationship. Don't rush to criticize the world, especially to blame it for your own shortcomings. In psychology, this is often known as the fundamental attribution error. Rule number 7, pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. Expedient is defined in the Oxford Dictionary as convenient and practical, although possibly improper or immoral, i.e. taking shortcuts. Dr. Peterson sets out a truth of life here. Life isn't supposed to be perpetually happy or fun. The reality of life, and it is better for all of us to accept this, is that we will suffer, but it should be worth it to a better end or leave a previous life behind. Do what is meaningful, not what is fun at the moment. Suffer the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Rule number 8, tell the truth, or at least don't lie. Social trust is something difficult to attain but very easy to lose with a simple indiscretion or even a misunderstanding. The truth is a broad term covering promises and contracts, personal truth of experiences and accurate descriptions and understandings of reality. For example, you might say 70 degrees is cold and another person may say 70 degrees is warm. Neither of you are lying. The important part is that you are both telling your own truths. Rule number 9, assume that the person you are listening to might know something that you don't. If something is true, then you shouldn't need to constantly proclaim it. It should sustain honest scrutiny, emerge stronger, be modified, or cast aside as something false. Social progress and personal development will only occur if people are willing to have a look at themselves and realize that whilst they may know a lot of things, in the great ocean of human knowledge, this is nothing. Essentially, be humble and willing to listen and learn from others. Rule number 10, be precise in your speech. This is particularly important in the context of a debate or dispute. For example, if a couple is having an argument, don't bring up the past. Be focused and hone in on the actual problem so you can look to resolve it. If we want to resolve a problem, the first step is to accurately define it. An example given by Dr. Peterson is the word faith. Some people will take this to mean belief without evidence, whilst others will interpret it as complete trust. But they mean different things in different contexts. Precise speech avoids ambiguity and misunderstandings. Rule number 11. Do not bother children when they are skateboarding. We come back to parenting styles here. Jordan Peterson describes helicopter parenting here, where the parents take an overprotective or excessive interest and often fear for their children. What Dr. Peterson advocates by this rule is that children need to learn from their own mistakes. Skateboarding is used merely as an example. They will learn from practicing, from their peers, from falling and getting up again. If they are mollycoddled all the time by their parents, they will not learn to control fear, but will rather be dominated by it. Rule number 12. Pet a cat when you encounter one on the street. This rule may sound odd at first when you first read or hear it, but basically what it is saying is take some time out of your life, or in this day and age from your smartphone, and just be present. Pet that cat on your street, appreciate the flowers, be grateful for all the blessings we have, such as clean running water and healthcare. So that's the 12 rules summarized. Now, two of the books that tie in well with what is advocated by Dr. Jordan Peterson are Atomic Habits and The Power of Self-Discipline, both of which have been life-changing for many, and I have linked them free for you here to watch the animated series. Anyway, I hope you learned something useful and enjoyed this summary. If you want to keep learning about psychology, medicine, or life hacks, hit the like, subscribe, and notifications button. Any suggestions or comments, feel free to post below. Until next time, stay safe.